Everybody, welcome back to the Game by Show podcast. It's the Game by Show, everyone. It's July 18th, 2022. It's hot as balls outside. We're all sweating our asses off here at the Game by Show. My name is LeGrand Jolly. This evening, Jeremy Lamont. Hello, Jeremy.
Hey, you guys. They said that we beat some records this year, like this today. I still think we can top them. I think we do better.
Okay. And Jared. Hello, Jared.
Howdy. It's real
hotter
hot.
in Dallas than Salt Lake, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was like 110 today. It's supposed to be higher tomorrow.
104
You
here
can do
today,
it. I
believe.
believe in you.
At 9 o'clock.
Excelsior.
At 9 o'clock, I was driving home in the dark, and it was 104.
That's got to be weird to
Oh
like
my
have it be
gosh.
baking hot in the dark.
That is bonkers, man. What is wrong with our planet?
It's on fire.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Humans are what's wrong with our planet. Welcome to the Game by Show. We are wrong with our planet. We are what's wrong.
I take full
It's okay.
responsibility.
You should, as you should. Yeah. That's your weather update. Everyone who listening to this podcast is keenly aware that the planet is on fire. Unless you live in Australia, where it's snowboard season in freaking New Zealand. So,
Nice.
We were on vacation last week, and in the mountains of New Mexico, it was a lovely 70, 80 degrees high.
Yeah, see, that sounds awesome.
Ooh.
It was
Yeah, in
great.
Bear Lake,
I like that.
it was 80.
That's not bad.
80
And you got
during the
some
day?
water there?
Oh, yeah, it was fantastic. Getting all hot, just jump in the water, man. Jump in the lake.
That's right. Solved.
The
Take
term
that,
"go
climate
jump in a
change.
lake" is a viable solution to your temperature woes.
Walk
sure.
off a pier, like, gladly.
Yes, I will gladly
Take a
jump
long
off a
walk
lake.
off a short
I
pier.
will walk the plank all day long in this heat.
Walk into the ocean. Into the sea with you, sir.
Right. Jared is sporting a lovely X-ray vision X-ray of a MacBook Pro on his background image.
Incorrect.
If you're watching on YouTube,
Incorrect.
I would imagine it's a Steam Deck.
It is. It is the Steam Deck.
It's a Cold War era hard disk drive.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
If you're watching on YouTube, we stream this on youtube.com/GameByteShow every Monday at 10 o'clock-ish.
And
Mountain
Jared
time.
shows off his hardware live on camera.
Dude. Yeah.
Jared's like, yo,
Yeah,
check out my new stuff.
So
Why don't you tell us about it?
I'm playing No Man's Sky right now, which is great because this podcast
So I was
is super
playing
boring.
I was playing a game, and then Jared all of a sudden popped up and was like, Jared is playing No Man's Sky. I'm like, oh, that's
Okay,
weird. But
if
you're
I've-
playing it on the Steam Deck, which is super cool.
I've been playing it on the Steam Deck. So
Cooler, I guess.
It's like a Switch but big. It's pretty chunky.
Is it like good big or is it like bummer big?
No, the weight is fine.
How nerdy are you going to look on a plane playing that Steam Deck? That's the real question. On a scale of 1 to super nerd,
Pretty nerdy.
where are you at?
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
You can't do the Game Bytes Show airplane challenge with it though, because the controller doesn't.
Yeah, you can. You can Bluetooth Xbox controllers to it.
You could plug in any controller to it. It's basically just a Linux PC. Yeah. So
you know
I'm
what,
actually,
man?
I got it.
What is nerdier on a plane? A 3DS, a PlayStation Vita, a iPhone with a freaking backbone or a Razer Kishi like what I have, or a Steam Deck? What is nerdier?
I think they're all sort of different. Like if you're a certain brand of nerd, you'll still have your Vita out.
So I have less respect for the person with the phone with the backbone thing on it than anyone
Why?
else.
I agree. That's like the least credible.
Because
nerd.
you're
So
like
that is the nerdiest?
You're like half measuring it, like whatever. Either go
What
big
if they're
or go
streaming?
home.
What if they're streaming XCloud? What if they're streaming XCloud
On the
over
plane.
airplane
No,
internet?
internet is not going to be good enough.
Then you're me. You're the only person in the world who would do that. You're me.
0% chance. So anyway,
Yeah.
so got this bad boy in on Wednesday. I've been playing almost exclusively games on the Steam Deck to have something to talk about today. So
Cool.
okay, so there's a lot of buttons everywhere.
Wow.
And it's actually kind of funny. It's got the joypad and the D-pad and two. On the Steam controller, it had those like touchpads that
The
were
circly Darth
Yeah.
Vader eyeballs.
They're back. They're square now. I don't know if you can see them. There's two.
Oh
Of them.
yeah.
They're actually really well placed. So one of the things I hate is like aiming in like a first-person shooter or third-person shooter with analog sticks. It's awful. As a mouse and keyboard guy,
I would agree.
The touchpad is great, because
Beat it, kid.
it's like more persistent. Well, there's like a lack of pants happening, so
You know what? Same thing here. I got like no
Yeah,
pants on this
no
guy. Look at
pants.
this.
But yeah, so games that are so if you look on Steam, there's games that are verified for Steam Deck. There's games that are playable on Steam Deck, games that are not playable on Steam Decks, and games that are we don't know. So I've checked out a mix of verified and playable.
I have a question. I have
go
a
ahead.
question about it. Is that based on the control scheme or based on the ability of the hardware to run the software?
Both. I believe there's actually a verification like process. Like you get like a check mark like on Twitter.
Okay.
And
So they don't really. It's just.
I don't think
making
it's
it
just
work.
like, oh, I guess it works. Enough people are playing it. I think
Right.
the developer has to go through a
It's
process.
got the Steam seal of quality. Yeah.
And so the games that I've played on that are like verified are they're fantastic. Like you just pick them up and play. No Man's Sky, for example, runs great. It looks great. The screen is 1200 by 800, I think. So decent resolution, and it's hard to look at on a screen, but it looks really fantastic playing on whatever this 8-inch screen is or whatever. It rests really nice on like my stomach, like on your chest. Like if you're laying
on
in
your
bed.
gut.
Well, if you're laying in bed,
Cool.
you want to like set it down, right? Like you don't want to like hold it up in the air.
I got a great idea.
It's like
I got
just
a great
wide
idea.
enough that it's like, oh,
Can I
The Super
tell you?
Nintendo Steam
I got a
Deck.
Super Steam Deck.
Oh, yeah, the Super Steam. He's got a cardboard cracker box. You can
I'm
just
gonna-
slot
yeah.
that thing in.
Oh man, I'm gonna be so rich.
So the games I've checked out, No Man's Sky is like one of my favorite games. I've got over almost 400 hours in that game.
Rookie.
Runs really
Hate it.
lovely.
Thumbs down.
Divinity 2, the original Sin, the RPG
Kind
that
of
came out,
tabletop RPG. Sort
yeah,
of
runs great. Now it
That game's cool.
it's verified, and it specifically has gamepad like control scheme. So
Yeah, because a lot of that's
works
like
really
mousy.
well.
So they must have had to invent. Because was that playable on a controller beforehand? Because I don't
Yes,
think it.
I
oh,
believe
was
it
Okay.
was.
All right.
So
Because I thought the whole thing was like you had a whole mouse interface that you had to do.
you do, and it works really well to move your characters. Use the analog sticks when you want to cast, because you have like tons of like skills and spells.
Yeah.
When you want to cast a spell, you hit like X or Y or one of the buttons, and it takes you down into there, and you can like mouse around. You can like tab around, because remember that game is the combat's turn based, so it
Right.
pauses when it's your turn.
You move around in real time, right? And then when you
Yes.
encounter dudes,
Yeah,
you
it's like
switch.
yeah, and there's like initiative, so it's not a you go I go. It's like certain characters will come up and whatnot. And it just works really well. Like I had no issue kind of getting into it, feeling like I knew. Well, I didn't know what I was doing because I picked up in the middle of a save, like in the middle of the game. But that's another issue. But the control wise and playing on it again, it looked great. The sound on it's pretty good. You have to get kind of loud. So one thing that kind of caught me off guard is if you look at this guy here, this is a
Mhm.
fan.
Oh yeah, just like a Switch.
Yeah, and it like
Can you hear it?
Yeah. If you have the
Oh.
volume low, you can kind of hear it a little bit. But only in certain games. No Man's Sky, Divinity did this, to where it's really having to probably crank the
Someone's
processor.
gonna come up.
Everything is pushing the horsepower of that thing, yeah? Like
I
Doom
imagine
Eternal would probably push it.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna come up with
Control
like one
would
of those laptop
probably-
coolers, like a little clip-on pack that you
mhm.
can get that'll do some extra cooling.
Yep. So
It'd be really cool if you could like dock it into a keyboard and just turn it into a laptop.
you can. So The other game I played that was very similar to Divinity 2 was Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, which came out a year or two ago. Very similar tabletop RPG, isometric. It is not verified. It's playable. And
Does that mean it's in process, or just that they're like, yeah, you can try it?
There's no control scheme. So you know how on the Steam controller it would be like, oh, use the community control scheme, or
here we've invented a mouse cursor
that we think might work.
Right.
And you could probably play it, but it wasn't.
So is there anything that you just straight up cannot, or
there are games that say they do not work on the Steam Deck,
but you can still try them, or
maybe. I don't know that you can. I haven't tried them yet, but I'll try one out and we'll report back next week. Inquisitor Prophecy, big. We've been talking about that a ton on the Game Bytes show. So it's not verified.
You had me at Inquisitor.
It's not verified, but it is flawless. The only issue I had was when I loaded it up, I had to go into settings and use the touch screen. Because it's got
I was going to say, so I was just going to ask that. So it's a touch screen. So what? Yep. Take us through everything you've got. So you've got a touch screen.
Okay.
You've got actual control sticks.
Touch screen. You've got 2 analog sticks, a D-pad. A 4-quadrant.
Y'all should really be watching this on YouTube.
Check it out. These guys content. Are your touchpad things.
Touchpad.
The Steam button's real important. So Steam button is pulls you up to a menu. Home, library, same kind of Steam menu thing. But if you hold, for example, Steam and X, that pulls up the keyboard. You can force the keyboard onto the screen, like I just did. But I've got the menu up, so I've got the keyboard up on No Man's Sky, which makes no sense, but sometimes you need it. It's the same way you do screenshots and things like that. These guys over here is your friends and stuff, which I don't have, so I don't worry about it. There's a select start up at the top. And then you go to the shoulder buttons. So you've got
where's the rear touch? Where's the rear touch?
No rear touch.
Can you put your finger up? Can you put your finger up through the screen?
And Tearaway.
Things. Yeah.
That's a Tearaway reference.
And you bounce the drums.
It's a reference to it.
So then it's got 2 shoulder buttons. L1, L2,
eyeball
R1,
tracking.
L2.
Does it have camera?
Okay.
Forward
no camera, but we'll get to that in a second. And it's got 2 buttons back here.
You can use. The weird Steam controller clippers.
Those are pretty cool, actually. In No Man's Sky, for example, to go to warp speed, you have to hold R2 and L2 or something, and I'm like, that's awkward. So I bound it back here. So I'm just hold them both, and you're good.
And then does it blow your hair? Well, not your hair, but does it?
Yeah, I turn the fan on as it happens. Which really ups the atmosphere. So one thing that's kind of fun is it comes with a game. What's the name of it? I'll tell you.
And this is all installed locally, right? You're not streaming this. Okay.
Oh, that's
comes with Gabe's Playroom. Gabe's Playroom.
You can do micro SD. So I have a 512 gigabyte micro SD.
Can you run from the micro SD?
Yeah. In fact, all my games are installed to the micro SD.
You can't even do phones won't even let you do that.
Yeah, it runs.
You can't even run apps.
Great.
Really?
Loading times aren't too bad. No Man's Sky.
This isn't a phone, Jeremy. It's not a phone. It's a gaming device.
But I guess the software on the phones is less intense, right? Than playing No Man's Sky, and yet they'll let you run No Man's Sky off the SD card. I don't know. Phones are such a racket.
They're a ripoff.
I'm just going to use this. Because normally in video games you're not streaming from the card; it loads into memory, and then
that's probably true. So the game it comes with is called Aperture Desk Job, and it's like Portal. It's like the characters from Portal. So there's a robot, a new kind of robot eyeball guy, and you're, the screen.
Steam VR comes with Aperture Science Lab.
Okay, it might be similar. So
that really is their playroom.
It kind of starts with you're testing things, and at some point the robot makes a turret out of a toilet. It's just ridiculous, right? But it's obviously designed. It's the tutorial for the Steam Deck,
using everything.
It goes through how to pull up the keyboard and do all these things. So the thing it goes through that I've seen in no other game get used is it has motion controls.
Tilt control.
Yeah. I don't like.
Oh man, 6-axis is back, baby.
I don't like it. Like it's
the difference though is that
and
it'll change your screen as you're because you can't like just tilt it freely.
I don't know, but anyway, so
that's cool. They've got a lot of tools they can do stuff with.
That's basically how it goes. I've played a ton of games. I've actually got really hooked on a game called Traveler's Rest, which is like a top down what's that farming game? Everyone's all the rage. I can't.
Farm
simulator.
No. Like the
Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley. It's kind of like that, but you run an inn. So like in a game like that, the fan much quieter, right? It's clearly not really having to crank up. So it just kind of depends what you're doing. Battery life, not super long.
Here's the question: does it run Doom?
Yeah. Doom Internal or Infernal or whatever the latest one.
All of the above. Have you tried to install Windows or other not Steam stuff?
I have not. So
have you hacked it for retro gaming yet?
Next week we'll report back on 2 new things. They'll go hand in hand. So one thing I wanted to try was installing classic UO on it so I could play Outlands.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
To do that, I'm going to need a keyboard because there's no way that game is going to work without a keyboard. So I've already got a USB-C splitter that'll pipe it out to HDMI.
This sounds super dumb, Jared, but I approve. And so does Jeremy. Clearly.
Oh, super proof.
We're going to check it out. I did check out some other games that I want to mention. Not that I really wanted to play them. I just loaded them up to kind of get into it to see how it fared. Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War, which was the more recent one.
Shadow of War.
Yeah, runs great, to be honest. Looks nice, runs good. No like hiccups or stuttering at all. And
that's an older game though at this point.
Yeah,
Unreal Engine.
I agree, but it's still pretty intensive.
Yeah. I think it's a lot more rare. I mean, we've talked about this before, but I think it's a lot more rare these days to have a game to have new games that will regularly tax your hardware. Sure. Whereas it used to be a big problem. Like every month there was something that was like, oh, you need the new computer.
There's some new crisis. So I mean, like Elden Ring's out and verified for it. So lots of really interesting stuff out there for it. I actually was talking to my wife the other day because I was kind of itching because we got back from vacation. I wasn't doing a lot of gaming, and I didn't get this until we got back. And I was like, man, I kind of want to sit and play Outlands, but I kind of don't want to sit at my desk. I was telling my wife, I was like, the Steam Deck's ruined me. I just want to lay in bed and play video games now.
That's what I'm talking about. Super Steam Deck. So it's on its way.
Handheld Renaissance is on board with Jared now.
And one thing I will say that I do appreciate that they did different than on the Nintendo Switch is now it makes the docking a little harder, but the charging port is on top, USB-C. So like if you have it plugged in, it's like the cable isn't.
It's
in the
weird.
way.
It's got to come over your face or something.
Yeah. So, but if it's plugged in the top, it just goes off.
Hey, it just occurred to me: aren't the Switch Joy-Cons, aren't those Bluetooth? Like, couldn't you actually pair Joy-Cons to that thing?
Maybe.
I bet you could.
Oh, you know what? There is and in fact,
but you wouldn't want to because they're garbage.
We have
one. If you want drift, if you want to build some drift into
there is a dongle you can plug in that will let you use, say, the Switch Pro controller on Windows. I wonder if it works for the Linux, the Steam OS.
Interesting.
So I don't plan on putting a bunch of like Windows stuff on this. I'll probably just kind of leave that mostly the way it is. But I'm going to this week try to put on some non-Steam games. See how they.
You should run some PlayStation 2 emulators and GameCube emulators. You should do that.
Maybe.
I hear that it is very, very good for that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Dreamcast.
Sure. I'm gonna play Game Boy games.
I want one, Jared, for my birthday. Hook me up.
Yeah. So it's final verdict. Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
I got the lowest model.
How much are these? You got the lowest one?
I got the lowest one, 400. But again, you can put the difference is the size of internal memory. But I'm like,
that's the only difference.
I'll put in, it's the internals.
But you're running from micro SD.
Faster storage. You have the NVMe SSD.
Of course. But you're talking load times. Like, so you wait a few more seconds. You know what I mean? Like the price goes up pretty quick.
I was going to say, what is the other price?
Oh,
$529 is the middle one, and $649 is the big one.
That's pretty spendy. $649.
Anyway, you get an exclusive virtual keyboard theme for the highest version, though. So it's probably
NFTs.
Worth it.
There you go.
I want one, but I want the middle tier. I want the middle one.
So
I want the bigger, faster hard drive.
Or registered for the lowest because I'm cheap, and
it sounds like it's working out great.
It's pretty cool. So
it sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know what I don't know. Well, I would probably use it. Well, I don't know. I would get it just to have. I got a stupid Xbox that I realized the other day that my Xbox Game Pass subscription had lapsed, therefore rendering my Xbox basically useless.
Yeah.
So I don't have any games on the Xbox Series X except for Game Pass games. It's just the Game Pass machine.
Right.
So
effectively.
The other thing I did test on it was I did load up. It allows you to install Chrome, the browser. It works fine.
And then you could do GeForce Now and all kinds of things.
You may be good. I don't know. I hadn't tried that. That is
try that.
GeForce Now streaming Steam games from a Steam Deck. That sounds great.
That sounds ridiculous. Oh, the other thing I did test in a game, Traveler's Rest only has saving when you go to bed at night. If you're playing the game and you just hit the power button, it hits like a sleep mode. I came back, a couple hours later, hit power, right where I left off. So
take that, game developers.
How cool is that, right? I don't have to if you exit
that's
the game
the thing.
and try to deal
we've been talking about that for a while with these current gen consoles, being able to save state just at any point. That's something the PC has not done well.
Store it. It doesn't do it at all. I mean, the Windows sleep states and stuff are still so finicky that I just turn them off.
Yeah.
I'm I'm not dealing with it. Half the time it doesn't work or doesn't start up or whatever.
Yeah.
So that works good. Really neat device. I'm just kind of really well thought out. Probably the only big complaint I have, I don't know what, I didn't really expect more, but it is disappointing, is the battery life is kind of short. I've had it downstairs for maybe an hour with No Man's Sky kind of running some of the time. And it looks like it's getting down to about half. So
for an hour?
Yeah. And
I do have all that hyperspace.
And I do have the brightness turned up too. So you could do some things to tweak it, turn off the rumble and things like that. But
honestly, gaming laptops are also pretty
think of it
insane on battery.
As that than say a Switch or something with lots of longevity. And honestly, if you get your expectations set, it's not that bad. But
right.
If you take it on a plane, planes have plugs under every seat, generally.
You can have that USB-C cable sticking right at the top.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And I'm sure you could turn off, if you're not playing with Wi-Fi, turn off Wi-Fi.
Does it have a stand? Or do you have to hold it like an animal?
So there is no kickstand on it or anything. There are third-party stands you can get. And then the dock, again, is just USB-C.
I thought they had an official thing they were coming out with, didn't they?
It's delayed indefinitely because of hardware issues, because of COVID.
Because a stand, because you can't get a piece that's like this and a piece to prop it up on the back. That's just engineering-wise.
No, they have components to dock. It's a dock. It's not a stand.
Yeah. There's no.
The official Steam thing is a dock to connect it to
I can't wait for the magnifying glass piece that fits over the top. You can
add the light because
the front light. Yeah.
Dude, that'd be so cool.
Pretty cool. Really enjoying it. So we'll do some funny stuff with it this week, and we'll record it next week.
I like it. We both like it, clearly.
Thumbs up.
I'm going to sit here.
All right. Jeremy, rock and roll, buddy. What's going on over in your world?
Well, on Game Pass this week, in the new releases, because Game Pass has a storefront that will let you sort that way. It's pretty good.
So good.
Yeah, I played something called Escape Academy, and a couple of things about Escape Academy. I'm not going to have a lot to say about it because it is more or less self-explanatory.
I'm going to hold you to that.
After a little bit of explanation. But also, it is it's multiplayer, which is kind of neat. So Escape Academy is basically like the Harry Potter of escape rooms. So the whole idea, and I don't know if there are already, I haven't heard if there are, but I can't believe that there wouldn't have been some sort of first-person escape room simulator. That has to exist. But basically, this is that, but it's also in kind of it's set in a fictitious kind, like Professor Layton. You know, like Professor Layton when he's like, oh, we're going to go to this village. And the guy's like, I can let you into the, I can lower the drawbridge, but you need to make this picture out of these matchsticks. And you're like, ah. It's kind of like that, except with escape rooms. So they you go to an escape room at the beginning of the game, and spoiler alert, the escape room that you're in, which is just like a mundane muggle escape room, turns out that it's just the entrance exam to be a wizard in the Escape Academy.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
And yeah, and so here's the thing. I don't have to describe the puzzles to the escape room idea because everybody knows what an escape room is now. And it basically does that. So the all of the puzzles are sort of like vaguely kind of in that way that escape rooms are, where it's like it doesn't make any logical sense. Like you're not solving a Sherlock Holmes practical puzzle. You're just being like, oh, there's a red square and a yellow triangle and a blue circle, and hey, that kind of matches up with this thing over here. So clearly they're related. And so in that sense, the game telegraphs everything to you. It's just a question of, are you finding the connections? You know, oh, I need 4 digits. Well, it turns out I can find 4 digits around the room. So even though that doesn't actually work in real life to solve anything in the world of escape rooms, it's exactly what you need. But then they whisk you off to the magical Hogwarts of escape rooms, and there's like...
I've got a hot take.
What's that?
Escape rooms are kind of dumb.
In real life, I think they are, but I think this is actually kind of cool because you don't have to go to the escape room. You don't have to because, you know, usually the escape room, you're in there with like your coworkers. It's like a team building exercise or something. And you're just like, this is awkward. But this time it's cool because it's you and potentially one other person online. And you can communicate and be like, okay, I've got a padlock over here and it needs this kind of key or whatever. And you could just go and search the escape room. And it kind of just works. It works really well. The puzzles are so far challenging, but not impossible. I haven't really felt frustrated, but in the way of escape rooms, you know, you just kind of are looking around for what is the clue that I'm missing that looks vaguely like the thing that I'm looking for. There are times when the visual cues are sort of like, am I looking at the right thing to notice similarity? You know, it's like a real escape room. Like sometimes you've been to a good escape room and you've probably been to a couple of bad ones.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sort of all of that. But, you know, there's the professor of, you know, wizarding ways or whatever. And then there's another professor of herbology. I don't know what they all are actually, but, you know, one dude is like totally into vaping or I don't know. I made that up, but it's just stuff like that where everybody's got a personality. But the thing that unifies them is their love and aptitude for escape rooms. And it's just good. I like I said, I'm kind of surprised that virtual escape rooms have not been a genre that we've heard about more often. I mean, they must exist.
Bones.
Maybe that's it. Yeah, well, I know that
all the nonary games are basically escape rooms.
But not in the, I guess here's the thing, like this is like going to an escape room where they time you. Like it's not just like, oh, you know, Jigsaw is going to wipe off your face if you don't. This is like an escape room. So it's like you got 30 minutes, they grade you at the end. In fact, it actually will at the end of the escape room, which is kind of neat. It will show you the steps, whether you knew what you were doing or not. It's like, oh, you found this clue, which unlocked this, and it took you 10 minutes to do that and whatever. And so you can go back and say, oh, yeah, I had no idea what I was doing, but I guess that's how this was related, which is kind of nice, too, because it summarizes it for you after you're done. And the idea of the game, of course, is that you will master all of the disciplines of escape rooming, and you'll become the new chosen one of, you know, Voldemort escape room, whatever. So that's it. I don't think I need to explain it anymore. You can pretty much imagine everything that it is. It's whimsical. The puzzles are well paced and just challenging enough. The fact that you can play with another person is really cool, and it works really well for escape rooms. And it's just kind of cute that they're like, oh, welcome to the Hogwarts of puzzle rooms. We think you've got what it takes, and you do have what it takes. And
it's on Game Pass, so
it is on Game Pass. So it's in the recently added, so it's just new. I don't know if it's a totally new release, but it's new to Game Pass. And as always, Game Pass is the way to go. And stream it, and it's fine. That's it.
Escape Academy. I agree. Well, I've got a smorgasbord of things to mention. I'm not even gonna focus on.
You're just going to read from a list.
I'm going to read from a list. I played exactly one round of Heroes of the Storm, and despite that game being dead,
no, they totally killed it. It's gone.
Can no longer play. We're no longer updating this game. I got into a game within 15 seconds and played with a really good team, and we kicked ass, and it was a lot
all
of
the
fun.
sad HOTS people are out there now going like, I should have loved you more.
Mm-hmm.
I played 2 rounds of StarCraft 2 co-op Commanders, which is still very good. That game is also not being supported, but still very fun. It does not have ultra widescreen support, which super sucks. But other than that, StarCraft 2 is still great. I played a bunch of Hunt Showdown. Of course. And I also tried out a game that's just also brand new to Game Pass. It's actually the newest thing in the recently added called Power Wash Simulator.
Oh, yeah. I loaded that up just for a minute.
I super don't want to play Power Wash Simulator.
You can also do that one co-op, and it might be, I don't know.
No. I mean, it's when a game feels like a job, I do not want to play it. And this game feels like, here's some things to spray with your power washer and push the tab button to see if you've got everything. And
what if the job is hunting like a murderous otherworldly horror with other people in the bayou? And
that's better. Oh,
that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. But this game just feels like, I mean, I did the tutorial, which was like clean your own van. And I was like spraying it down, and it took a while, and you have to like crouch and get underneath and make sure you get all the shit off the tires or whatever. And then
it seems like if you miss something, that's when it would be a real drag.
Well, you push the tab button down. You push the tab. So when you're spraying a thing, like a component, so say I'm spraying the door on this van, right? It'll actually tell you how much, like give you like a little percentage gauge of.
Yeah, it does. It seems
how much
like
of the thing you've got.
What is the component that you're currently targeting?
Yeah. And an overall percentage for the level or whatever, right? So I got that done, and then the next level was like,
did you use different nozzles? Because I know there's like a wide nozzle and a.
You can rotate them or whatever. It's like, hey, here's this backyard that's really dirty. You need to like spray it down.
Spray the grass down.
So I started spraying, and I was playing for like, I don't know, it seemed like forever. Like this game just seemed like it just
like you felt like somebody owed you $20 by the time you were done.
And I looked up, and it's like 13% complete. I'm like, F this. I'm not done.
Now you know how your teenage son feels. Dad, this is taking forever.
On top of that, the game has some really bad FOV, and I get motion sick. I used to get motion sick playing Half-Life 2 before they had the FOV slider. And this game made me motion sick playing this game because the first person is just, it's not made to be a shooter, but if you move around too fast or do dumb things, then it made me sick. So thumbs down for me on Power Wash Simulator. And whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
On top of that, I played a little bit of Vampire Survivors. I had unlocked everything in that game, and I fired it up, and I looked at the achievement list, and I had less than half of the now current achievements completed.
Really?
Which means they've basically doubled the content of the game since I last played, and I played several rounds of Vampire Survivors, and the game is still very good. And I guess there's an end boss they've added now, which I haven't gotten to yet.
Yeah.
There's several new characters that I unlocked. There's new items I got. There's new evolutions I picked up. And I guess there's an end boss where you can go and fight an end boss. And so I unlocked a mode which allows me to, you know how the games are like 30 minutes long in Vampire Survivors?
Yeah.
I unlocked a item called the, let me find it here. Something. I unlocked an item that basically, a Sorceress's Tears, which basically made it so instead of a 30-minute round, it was a 15-minute round.
So does that ramp up? It ramps everything up double?
Yeah, it ramps everything up. So you can basically, and it still gives you the 30-minute timer because the game is like the different waves trigger on certain timers. Like this boss is going to come at this time or whatever. So it actually doesn't.
Then, like it wouldn't be a disadvantage.
But it's still a 30-minute timer.
Right. It seems like you could still play a 30-minute game in 15 minutes without suffering like double the difficulty.
Yeah, I beat a whole level in 15 minutes, and it was great. Yeah. And I got all the items I wanted, and tried out some new builds with some new items. I think
that's good because just to think about it now, I mean, it's not like it's bad, but it seems like there are some times when you're sort of like wandering, just like shooting guys, and you're like, this could.
And it's taking forever to level up.
Yeah,
and you're just waiting for the next wave because this one is sparsely populated. So
I heard they were going to nerf each one. I sure hope they don't.
They better not, dude. No, freaking Bandolier is like the best game and the best item on the planet. Anyway, Vampire Survivors still very good.
I should go back to that. You're kind of making me want to go.
The fact that it costs $3 is still, man, just everyone
I paid my $3.
Making off like bandits. I'm at 44 hours played of this $3 game.
Wow, that's got to be like, aside from a free to play game.
It's so good though. It's so much fun, and I never bored playing Vampire Survivor. Let's just say that. Yeah. I also played a little bit of a game called Satisfactory, which I bought for myself and my son during the Steam sale. This is one of those, not a survival game, but it's got the survival elements where you're basically trying to build a factory or a bunch of components together to automate production of items. And as you do that, you unlock more items and different things that you can build, and you end up building this huge contraption of conveyor belts and drills that are mining automatically for you and moving things into smelters, and one of those kinds of games. Basically, what happened is my son plays those style of games on Roblox. Like, he's hopelessly addicted to these dumb games to the point where he'll get an auto clicker running on his computer and he'll want to just run it all night long so it can click and collect shit from the freaking automatic whatever's all day long so that he can then log in on the morning, sell all this stuff and have a lot of money or whatever. Anyway, Roblox is a bunch of crap. And so as the bad parent that I am, I'm like,
Steam Deck.
Yeah,
probably. I'm like, yo, son, you need to like cool things. So you should play this game that is like what you're playing on Roblox, but actually a game that's actually developed. They actually sell for real money and is actually better.
I've tried. I've never been able to get my children to like cool things. I don't know.
And you know what? We played co-op. Like right before we were recording, he's been begging me all week. So I'm like, we gotta play this game co-op. And I just haven't had time to kind of sit down with him.
Hey, speaking of which, I'm gonna bump into her really quickly. Nintendo Switch Online. I think I talked about Mario's Picross, the Japanese version of their nonogram game from like the Super Famicom. Just completely randomly discovered with one of my daughters that you can play that game co-op. You can do nonograms co-op. And we had a blast. You just, two people are working on it at the same time, just like chiseling away things. And somebody just had the controller and she's like, Dad, I think this is, and you just like move the stick and suddenly you're doing co-op nonograms. And it's awesome. And I'm so proud of them because they were doing nonograms so well. So co-op with your kids.
I love Picross, dude. Picross is so good.
Me too.
It is really one of the treasures of society. Picross,
Agreed.
Whoever created that.
Agreed.
Anyway, Satisfactory is a good game. I think it seems like it's very well done. One of those, and it seems like you can get some videos I've watched. Seems like you can get some pretty insane factories built out that are kind of just doing stuff. It's one of those games that has really no point, but building a satisfying factory. Like that is basically it, right? And and it's good. And my son's been begging me all week to play it with him, and I tried to fire it up myself a little bit, and then fired up with him, and we played for 45 minutes before the show today, and had a good old time. So he's kind of saving that world to be kind of our world that we work on together, and whether we fight over where we place things, I'm just kind of let him run things. I'm just going to help him out, but it's good. It's a good game, and
fun.
I think that's all I played this week.
That's it.
I probably played some 3DS stuff, but who knows?
Exhausted.
Probably. Yep.
Well, this week for new releases and such, thanks to tech-gaming.com for the new release list. As far as we know, completely comprehensive, doesn't miss anything. We have Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2, which I think that already exists. So I don't know if this is who put that on there? Is that like a Switch release or something? I don't know. Anyway, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2.
I didn't put it there.
Unless it was a new one, because they were making a new one. Maybe this is the new one. I don't know. Someone out there knows. Robert Desert Eagle Allen knows. Also, new release
on the PlayStation. Maybe that's what it is.
Is that what it is? Also new this week is the cat game.
This just came out on Steam. This is brand new, dude.
Brand new one. Okay. Yeah, I knew they were making a new one.
Release date July 20th on Steam.
Okay, cool. So people
this
are going to be
new.
Dark Alliancing it up.
Yes.
Stray, the game about a cat, which my 13-year-old has been like, ever since they showed it on some PlayStation reel before the console launched, she's been like at least monthly, Dad, when does the cat game come out? Dad. And I'm like, I don't know. But then they're like, over at IM8 that they're like, we're going to release the soundtrack on vinyl. And I'm like, now I'm interested. So anyway, that's coming out this week. It is also included on the PlayStation Plus, some version of whatever that new service is. So I got to figure out what to
Premium.
Premium. Premium.
Is that what it's called?
I think something like that.
There is Essential and Extra. It's only Extra tier.
Somehow I feel like an old person when it comes to, you know how they're like, oh, they're looking at your PlayStation 3 and they're like, oh, your Nintendo is so good. And I just cannot figure out what the PlayStation Plus tiers are called.
They should have just done like bronze, silver, and gold. Like
they make them sound like there's something from like a business administrator. Like if you're going to go for an MBA or something, and it's like, this is the professional standards.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, just like, I don't know.
Game Pass is Game Pass Premium, Game Pass, and Game Pass Ultimate. Like that's it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Ultimate just includes Game and Xbox Live Gold.
Just
very
like
straightforward.
Game Pass PC, and Game Pass Ultimate, which is both of them.
What we need is the Hooked on Aerobics version of this. We need the high impact one. We need like the normal one.
Essential, Extra, Premium. Essential is what you used to have.
Try Hard Edition.
Extra gives you PS5 games. Premium gives you old games.
Hey, speaking of trying hard, we have our informant from on the inside at Bungie. Now that they are owned by Sony. Spoilers. Leaked.
Yeah,
Destiny guns.
Leaked Destiny guns. There's nothing.
Jared, what do we got?
Steel, severed steel.
Severed steel,
dude.
That's they actually have swords now in that game. I think so.
That's a great game. That's a great gun name. 200 ways.
That really sounds like a Destiny gun.
It's
the minigun.
1000% like just a machine gun. Yeah.
Yep.
And Fallen Angel.
Hand cannon.
Yeah, that's just like a pretty looking assault rifle. It's got some wings on it or something.
Could be.
He does a cool flip thing when he reloads it.
The one-winged Fallen Angel.
Ugh. Now I'm out. Not interested.
The tier running.
Whatever.
On our deals and freebies section, PS Plus Premium, we just mentioned Stray is going to be on there, but also Final Fantasy VII Intergrade
PlayStation
Edition.
Plus Extra.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Ugh, I don't even know.
Extra is the middle one that has the PS5 stuff.
Extra flavor.
Premium only gives you the old shit.
Extra.
For like extra $3 a month or something.
Extra is how much effort they put into failing at naming
to confusing me. Yeah. And then Marvel's Avengers is on there, which actually completely unrelated. I've actually been playing Marvel's Avengers. I finished the campaign, and I think it's quite good, actually. I think my final verdict.
Assassin's Creed's on there. Assassin's Creed Black Flag and Unity are both on there.
Really? That's good, really good too. I've also got here that the Multiverses open beta will roll out this week, which is that's that weird. So fighting get like Smash Brothers type games. I played the Nickelodeon one. It's not great. But Multiverses, this is where you can be like Batman and beat the crap out of Velma from Scooby-Doo.
Here's what they're adding. Assassin's Creed Unity for Black Flag, Rogue Remastered, Freedom Cry, which is the Black Flag standalone DLC, and the Ezio Collection are all on PlayStation, whatever
it is. There's got to be some way for us to figure that out. I don't know.
No, it's the middle one. Extra.
Anyway. All right. Well, we do have some news, actual news this week. Sony has launched a loyalty program for PlayStation. This is one of those, Game Pass kind of has this too, or Xbox kind of has it too, where you like start to earn points and then you can use the points to
they're
do
Bing
something.
Points.
PlayStation
Are they actual Bing
Loyalty
points?
Extra.
No, I thought you did this, Jeremy. I thought you
I think they're different points, and I don't really know
all
what
the same.
you do
Microsoft reward stuff. It's all the same.
Are they?
Right?
So you could can you do that? So you can actually technically earn real gift cards from doing that stuff. Is that what you're saying? Because I don't think that's
Microsoft.
The case. Well, with Microsoft points you can, but I don't think you can do it with the game points where it's like play 3 games this week or whatever.
I thought that was all part of the same thing.
I'll have to check that out because I think I've accrued quite a number of points. So
get an achievement in some random game. Play this game on Game Pass.
Exactly.
So stupid.
I don't think they'll give you real money for that, but maybe I don't know. I guess I haven't really been paying attention. But that's going to be the same kind of idea on this PlayStation thing. It's called PlayStation Stars, and there will be challenges.
PlayStation Stars Extra.
I hope this is PlayStation Stars Battle Royale because that's what I'm really interested in.
It's not the All-Star, so it's like B-tier Sony characters.
It blinks the times, or no, that was Microsoft. I'm trying to think who was.
I don't know.
Croc. Croc will be.
It's like secondary characters from AAA games. So like, I don't know.
So they'll also
Raven
let you do,
from Metal Gear Solid.
Oh yeah. They'll also let you do digital collectibles, which are digital figurines of game characters, which I can only hope means that they're going to relaunch PlayStation Home, so you've got a place to display this stuff.
They better.
No.
In VR, actually, PlayStation VR 2 Home Edition. Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, why not? Why not?
I hear that like those places, like those just like social hangout spaces in VR are like all the rage. Like
what's
VR
that?
chat and
what's that one that's free? The VR. It's
VR
like
chat.
the room, something game
VR
room
chat.
or something. I don't know what it is.
Oh,
Anyway,
Playroom.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. That game's good.
Like that. Yeah.
No, is it Playroom?
No, it's the one where you can do like it's like Roblox for VR.
Rec
Room. That's right. That is right.
Rec Room's good. VR chat is good. Poker All Stars is fantastic.
Is it really? I should learn how to play. I don't actually even know how to play poker.
Well, you can learn. And you can smoke fake cigars and use.
And I can like wear my glasses so nobody can see my face when something's not going right.
I'm gonna charge up my VR headset. I'll play poker tonight.
Hey, Nintendo has bought a CGI movie studio called Dynamo Pictures, and they have now renamed it as Nintendo Pictures. So just be aware, if you want to hear Chris Pratt's Mario voice, they're gonna have all kinds of stuff to do that. This animation studio, I don't really know what they've done. It's a Japanese studio that has done a near replicant. They've done work in Near Replicant. They've done work in Death Stranding. They actually worked with Nintendo to do those little Pikmin short videos, which I don't think ever left the 3DS. I think that's still the only place you can watch those. But they have an existing relationship, and who knows what they're going to do with it. But if this Mario movie goes well, I suspect we'll see more stuff like that. Tesla, this is the Elon Musk electric car model, is going to be demoing Steam integration next month. So hopefully that's a driver's side thing. Hopefully you can dock your Steam Deck right into that thing and then control the car.
I don't care until I can drive my Steam Deck.
Exactly. Like, why not? I mean, honestly, like, why not? It seems like you should be able to do that. And then the loot box thing. Do you guys remember the loot box controversy of like last year or 8 months ago or whatever it was?
This was like 2019.
It was a while back. But the UK inquiry into loot boxes has found that maybe there's something going on, maybe there's not, but they're not going to regulate, they're not going to legislate anything new, no new government oversight of loot boxes. And they've said, you know what, you men childrens, regulate yourselves, play nice. And
mobile game developers rejoice, right?
Yeah, exactly. They'll keep abusing us for as long as they can.
Keep bilking all these kids for money.
They'll keep remilking their customer base.
I think the only loot box I've ever bought were in Heroes of the Storm.
Really? Yeah. I don't think
for you.
Yeah.
No, super worth it.
And look what you should have bought more. Otherwise,
shut
down. Guys, that's all the regular news we've got for this week, but we still have some stuff here on the news. Speedruns. Start that music.
Halo Infinite's co-op campaign has gone into public testing.
Right on time.
Yeah, I mean, shoot.
Just in time for people to be interested in Halo Infinite.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Hey, the biggest video game convention last week was FarmCon 22 in Germany. The video on demand is available on Twitch.
Is this Farming Simulator convention?
It is Farming Simulator convention in Germany.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome!
Yeah,
what a bunch of nerds. I wonder what do people cosplay when they go to this convention?
Look, I'm a combine. No, but
I'm a pig.
I've heard.
Nobody takes advantage of me.
Wow. I've heard that in Europe, though. Like the lawn mowing, like they love like that make the bus stop circuit kind of like they love that stuff. They're just all into that.
Did you see the video of the dude that built the trucker simulator, like full, like an actual truck inside with screens all around him and a full big rig?
That kind of sounds awesome, though.
Yeah, it looked really cool, actually.
Could you imagine like pulling over at the truck stop and like the lights are going on in there and the people are like, what's going on with that guy?
Well, he had like neon lights in there and like the windows on the side were like actual screens.
That's like the new BattleTech pods.
Oh yeah, easy. Except for like a big with like a full steering wheel and the gear shifter,
like a giant steering
pedals.
Wheel. That'd be great to trick that thing
Fantastic.
out. Okay, the new Resident Evil series on Netflix. We've talked about this for a while. There were a couple of them. Well, this one came out on Netflix. Not doing so hot. The critical reception is at 50%. I guess that's rotten. If you're at 50, are you rotten or fresh on the tomato meter? Probably rotten. That sounds rotten to me.
Not fresh.
26% on the audience score. Did we have any predictions on this?
We super did. I'm sure we did.
It's not on there. We must have wiped it out. Whatever it is, I think it underperformed even to our low expectations.
Wow.
I gotta find it. I'll read the next one, then I'm gonna look for it. I bet we did. I bet we did do it. Okay. Let's see here. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge has sold 1 million copies, despite being on Game Pass, where it is available.
That's what I thought was interesting, where a bunch of people could play it for free, but they're still selling 1 million copies.
Well, it's like $15, right? So there's lots of people who don't have Game Pass, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Speaking of things that people don't have, Zynga's free-to-play arena shooter Star Wars Hunters delayed to next year.
Boo. Nintendo, in face of this heat wave that we were talking about at the beginning of our show, they have warned users to only run the Nintendo Switch when the outside temperature is 35 degrees Celsius, but nobody knows what that actually is in real temperature.
Hot.
All right, I found the Resident Evil Netflix. We have actually 2 in here, and I don't know which one is
there were 2. There was like the one that's like the children of the Jill Valentine.
One is labeled the Resident Evil Netflix. And one is labeled Resident Evil Netflix Series. Resident Evil Netflix, Jeremy gave it 12. I gave it 32. And Dale gave it 42.
Wow.
Resident Evil Netflix Series, Dale gave it 67.
Whoa, Dale.
Jeremy gave it 80.
What?
I gave it 74. And Jared gave it 52.
Oh. Jared, we all went over, though. It underperformed even our low expectations.
So I don't know which one is the actual... Do we have like a history of like all sorts of predictions over here? This is great. Anyway.
All right.
I might should copy these over to the new doc.
Okay.
Let's see here. What did you just read? Nintendo?
Bayonetta 3.
Bayonetta 3 has gotten a release date, October 28th on the Nintendo Switch.
Hey, wow. Speaking of...
Get your hair on. Get your hair combat on.
Release dates. Right. Ultima 1, released 1981, has gotten a fan remaster with Ultima 4's graphics. Ultima 4, mind you, came out in 1985.
Oh, that's Naughty Dog levels of like.
So this, so I was actually looking at this. It's pretty cool. It's over on the on archive.org.
It went from serif to sans serif font.
Make it up. Well, I mean, at the time, 1985, the graphics for Ultima 4 were pretty fantastic, especially compared to Ultima 1. So
yeah, that is true.
But yeah, go check it out.
I guess I was playing Pac-Man back then. So
hey, everybody's favorite daily check-in and post something on social media game, Wordle, now getting a physical board game, party game release that you can show everybody how well you did right to their faces.
Oh my gosh. Sounds good. Bungie is now officially owned by Sony, so that all went through.
Nice.
Cool. Skate 4 that we have discussed last week, apparently. I wasn't here. Will allegedly be a free-to-play
You didn't listen?
title.
Interesting. I don't think we knew that last week. I added that on there because I think that's new information. But Godspeed to EA, because I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes.
I cannot wait to play Skate 4. How about that?
Yeah. Well, here's something that you may or may not be able to wait to do. Blizzard is giving out Diablo 4 beta keys to fans who get themed tattoos.
Oh gosh.
Now's your chance, Jared, right on your face.
You know, I think about the guy who had the Zune tattoo, and I think about this guy a lot, actually.
Well, we should check out how are you doing, Zune guy? Maybe he's like had it redone as
the Zune was such a cool device. I don't know.
Was it?
I don't know either.
Okay, so if you got the Steam Deck tattoo, it's like this, like their logo is like this circle with the half circle. You could get away with that one. No one would know what it is.
You would look like
it looks like some corporate bullshit.
Though.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it's like something from Utah County, Utah. Like here's our
Utah County, Utah.
Schmurtle. That's the Schmurtle web logo.
Yeah, something from Silicon Slopes. That's where it's from.
That's right. Well, folks, speaking of questionable judgments, you've made it all the way to the end of this week's Game Bytes Show podcast. I want to thank you for that. Thank you to my co-host for making it all the way through. If you guys have anything that you want to share with us, any games that you've played this week that you'd like to tell us about, anything that we missed in the news that we should really have paid attention to, you can tell us all about that stuff. Let us know on social media. You can find us on Twitter at Game Bytes Show collectively. You can also reach out to us individually. I am at Jeremy_Lamont.
You can find me at Legrand.
I'm at Red_I.
Our man in Japan, Dale Jones, is still at Count Elmdor. And by the way, you should be on our Discord because he is giving us the full 3D experience, the smell-o-vision. Like we're getting all of the sensory experience of what's going on in there in Japan. And he went all the way to Japan to buy some tiles for his tabletop Warhammer game, which I'm pretty sure you can get anywhere, but his are from Japan. So that makes him pretty cool. But of course, you can find us at youtube.com/GameBytesShow, where you should be watching us live. Watch Jared flex his Steam Deck cred all over you. There it is. Oh, that's some good stuff. youtube.com/GameBytesShow. Find us at GameBytesShow.com, where you can find a link to that aforementioned Discord server. You can also find the back catalog of all of our syndicated podcasts there. Lots and lots of good content going all the way back to the beginning of video games. So check that out as well. And folks, other than that, I think that's going to do it for this week. You can find us here at this same bat time, same bat channel next week. Until then, this has been your Game Bytes Show podcast. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Boom. Well done.